Here we go then, and welcome to another casted game on Socotra. Now, on the north side of the island, we have old friend of the channel, GG in the pink as the Japanese, and on the south side in the blue, we have Shemda as the Mongols. So this map I think is going to be really exciting, and GG sent me this one to take a look at using the form in the description. So if you want to be awesome like him and be the next casted Chad or whatever league you're at, make sure you check the description and you'll be able to get your game on the list. Now let's take a little look at the scouting path for both of these players. The food on this, the sheep are very few and far between, so there aren't that many, but luckily there are a lot of berries. GG not going for the early berries, Tawara? Let's double check I'm saying the right one. Tawara, not Tatara. So he's just going to go for this fast feud-laid aid-up. Also, too, remember, as we flick over to the Mongol side and Shemda going around, getting a couple of sheep, but not too many. GG is a controller player, and he is in Platinum, which I think is pretty incredible. If any of you have actually tried to play on controller like I have, it is horrendously difficult, and at the moment he's higher ranked than I am on keyboard and mouse, so props to him on that one. Let's take a look at both of these players and what they're up to. So we've got a cheeky girl sitting there taking a little rest, waiting to get some orders from Shemda, and we can see a slightly slow barracks going up around the Uvu. So whether it's going to be a slightly delayed tower rush, we'll have to wait and see. But the TC is moving forward, and I quite like this play from Shemda. It's a really nice position there. If he was being super greedy, he could actually just move it straight in the center and go on the boar. This map, I think, is super interesting because it's so small, there's no fish, and so you're forced into fighting. I have this banned just because I'm scared to play on it, but I think it's a really exciting one if you're looking for some aggression and aggro. Now, I imagine on this one we're going to be seeing the Korostor house, but I think Shinobi potentially could also work. With the Mongol TC being over here, then you might be able to do some damage somewhere else, disabling the Uvu and some other buildings. The only problem is their stealth ability, where they pretend to be villagers, is revealed by outposts, and as we all know, the Mongols love putting those down, so we'll just have to wait and see what he goes for. I imagine, there we go, Korostor house, as expected, up against the TC. Maybe I would have liked it just a bit closer to those berries, maybe even here. And then the safe farms would be round the back, and you can also gather the berries. But there's not really another good place for it, because this base is very, very tight. If we go over to the Mongol side, he has produced a couple of spears, and we can see two villagers coming over, so he really wants to get that tower up. And this is a really tricky one on this map, because if he wants to tower the gold, he's literally got to go all the way around right to the edge and try and drop a tower like here. But GG has caught that one. Oh no, it's GG's tower's gone down first, right? So the spears are now going in, and the TC just catching them. So he's doing a big villager pull to try and get that tower up, and Shemda deciding that he's going to pull away. So whether the tower's going to go up before these villagers make it, but oh no, Shemda pulled away. He probably could have got at least one of those villagers, maybe even two. So what are these guys going to do now? If I was Shemda, I definitely want to be denying some resources. I don't think he's going to be going on the berries, mate, but I think that's a perfectly viable option. Also, maybe even just towering here, just outside TC range, maybe to try and deny the wood lines. A little bit tricky with the positioning of these wood lines, but he's committed to the tower and he's going for it. So I respect his dogmatic attitude. He's still going to go for the tower, even though the original one he wanted was denied. And now GG is back mining that gold, living his best life. He's literally about to hit feudal, and this has really delayed Shemda at this stage. So hopefully we're going to see that farm manned in a second. And then if we take a little look over here, he's already got the gold for his age up, but no food up yet. So we can see the Gur moving out. And where are you going, my friend? It's all the way onto the deer. Wow, that's a very long route. I personally would have stuck it here with the boar and the berries, but that's just me. Not having played the Mongols, maybe he's got something up his sleeve and there's a reason he's going up to this deer pack. We'll just have to wait and see. Some nice little defensive walls here from GG. I think this is quite good, especially if Shemda decides to go in for Mangadai, which are obviously becoming more and more popular with the Khan's hunters available. Deer stones as well. There's no markets, so definitely not going to be a silver tree on this one, and that yam network is definitely going to allow that cavalry to storm around this tiny little island like crazy. Also good to remember as well now that the Mongols have a different cost for their TCs. It's only 850 wood, so they can actually go for TCs just by gathering up loads and loads of wood as well. So always something to remember now, that it's just that little bit cheaper, so we might be seeing another TC from him. If we take a little look over, no production as of yet for GG, so he might be going for a slow castle, not quite sure, and the long distance gathering here is really hurting his wood income, and partly that could be because he's on console, because he's on controller, because if you auto assign the villagers, they won't always build a lumber camp, but definitely want to be getting a lumber camp down, mate. Probably one at the back over here by these guys, and all of them on the same wood line, but he's still getting that wood in, so that's the main thing. We've got 4 on gold at the back, and this tower that's now full of, oh no, the 2 idols. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me that there's the villagers in there. Oh, Shemda, please. You definitely don't want to be putting your villagers in there to fire at a landmark that has 5,000 health. I definitely don't think that's the right play. But maybe, again, he might have something in store. Let's wait and see. The Khan going around now trying to find some damage, but this side is all blocked off, so he's going to have to go from the other. One of these spears, these guys should be running around poking, because this doesn't have arrow slits yet, so they could quite easily try and burn this down if they were quick about it. But we can see another tower going up at the front, so GG potentially might be going for a slightly slow castle at this stage, but he is getting all of his upgrades, and oh, there is production. There we go. Hardened Samurai. So Samurai are going to be coming out in a second. There we go. The spears trying to run in, but getting caught under that TC fire, and they're moving away to build a ram. So they really want to try and get down these buildings at this stage. So we can see there's a lumber camp somewhere, because forestry is in. Where are you, my friend? There we go. So there's... Where is the lumber camp? I can't even find it. Hello? Lumber camp. Absolutely no clue. But there's a lumber camp somewhere, and that's getting the upgrade as we speak, so hopefully it's not in a really random location. We can see now that the deer are very quickly being gathered up over here by Shemda, and he's starting to get his eco going. We can see an archery range just about to pop, and then he's been taken away. There we go, a little bit closer, so potentially some Mangadai and Khan hunters about to come out. Scout at the front keeping an eye on what's going on, so both of these players just getting themselves set up and ready to go. Ram coming in now on the top side, burning down these farms, and that's actually a lot of value that's going to be lost by GG if he can't get that taken out. There we go, 1 free farm down, and also that tower is slowly wittering these samurai down, so he's going to have to be really careful, because the Mongols are also getting, of course, they're going to be getting the bonus from burning stuff down as well. So every farm just takes a couple of hits, 2 hits, and then they get the bonus. If we watch now as it pops up, and then boom, there we go, 25 food, 25 gold. That's really going to be a nice little pickup for him at this stage, giving his eco a little push forward. Definitely wants to be getting that tower down, but arrow slits coming in, and that's going to really hurt these samurai. So GG's going to have to be really careful that he doesn't stream these units in individually and lose them. He wants to be taking this out in one go, potentially even making just 1 ram to take it out, because he does have the forge, which has all of the eco techs. So but it's good that he's got his arrow defense, so that's going to help him along the way. He also wants to be thinking about his eco techs. The Takazaiku, he's not on berries at the moment because this one's denied, but a couple of little berry patches over here he could sneak out to if he so wished. So we can see the samurai pushing them off the deer there, and the Mangadai are out. There we go. So the kiting archers are going to do it, and the wolf is chasing. Let's quickly follow the wolf, the MVP of every match. He's trying to get some damage, but the Khan has taken him out. Sorry, mate, you're not going to last much longer. So now GG is arming up at the front of his base. He's gone for the Yumiyashigaru and the samurai, so a nice little combination, because archers and static defenses like towers are definitely what is going to take out these Mangadai, because they don't have ranged armor, so that's going to really help. Now, looking at the eco, both of these players, another ram going down. Wow, so Shemda really wants to take out these buildings, so he's sending the Mangadai over and getting that ram built. So Gigi's going to have to make sure he gets more units out to defend this and hopefully take that down. But that tower is actually doing quite a bit of damage to this farm, and he will get a nice little boost to his eco from that afterwards. Here we go, Mangadai running in and attacking the farm. Okay, the Mangadai, I'm not sure they're supposed to be targeting the farm at this stage, but definitely don't want your Yumi Ashigaru running under that tower because they are going to get taken out very quickly. Samurais are fine, and usually what you want to do with these, if you're going to do something like that, is you want to run your samurai first, the tower will auto target them, and then you can run any other units under, and that will usually mean that unless they're specifically target firing with the tower, then your unarmored units don't get targeted straight away. I can't see what's in these towers, I don't know why it's not up on this user interface, but whatever's in there, if it's those samurai that are low health, they definitely want to be out doing something. Another farm going down, and there's another one going to go down, and another little bounty boost for Shemda there. So he's almost at Castle Age. Wow, so his eco is really starting to kick off, and he's going to hit Castle Age, and he's got a lot of stone as well, so saving that out for a big Castle Age push, I believe. Let's take a little look and swing it around so we can see that ram being focused down. But this is what I mean, the towers, look at how quickly they're doing that. Focusing on the samurai. Definitely want to be on the Yumi Ashigaru and the samurai coming in to burn it, but GG's changed his mind at the last second. So one samurai going to be falling down, and then they're coming to burn it again, so they're running back under that TC fire, and the deflect armor, the little white line you can see at the top, that guy's lost it, and so that's going to be going down. One samurai down, and it looks like the Mangadai are coming in to do some little pot shots, and the archers there to fight them off. Villagers still sitting inside there trying to heal it up, but that tower does look like it's going to be going down with the Japanese samurai burning away. And this is going to be really good for GG now. It's going to free up this food and give him the advantage to push forward, as well as the two villager kills that are just having a little snooze outside the Japanese base. There we go, nicely taken care of. A little bit of business there to get the action kicked off. So now the Japanese forces are moving out onto the field, and through the center we can see that the scout is trying to pull the ball. What? Okay. Let's watch what GG's doing. I don't know if he's going to be... Yeah, so they changed it a couple of patches ago where you can't drag the ball forever because people used to drag it under someone's TC or into their base and kill loads of villagers. So there is a limit of how far it will go. So sorry, mate, but you can't pull that back to your base, unfortunately. And you definitely don't want to just reduce its health ready for your opponents. We can see some villagers going down to get these berries on the bottom side, and the Mangadai there guarding this deer pack over at the top. Only a couple of deer left, so Shemda's doing a really good job of getting the resources on the field. And if we take a little look, he is in the Castle Age. There we go. We missed that going up, but he's gone for the Coral Tie, which in this case I think is definitely the right call. So that's going to be able to heal him up and give him a really advantageous fight if he can move it into the right position. So now all of these infantry are going to be trying to take out these buildings. Definitely want to focus on the Uvu because that's a huge buff to the Mongol Empire. So definitely want to be focusing that down with all of its flags and beauty. I've never actually taken a close look at it because usually when I'm playing the Mongols, I don't last this long. So it's nice to be able to admire the models in this one. That Uvu is going to be going down, but the Mongols packing up the rest of those buildings and moving them away to safety, which I think is definitely the right call. So there we go, Uvu taken out just as it got a last 2 stone to give to its Shemda master. We can see these guys gathering wood over on the side. It looks like a dock was placed but then cancelled for some reason, so Shemda might be considering getting some ships, and this is something interesting you see a lot of players doing on this map, where you can get some warships and then you can skirt around because all of the gold except the one in the middle spawns around the edge. So you can see right here, the one in the base here, and then there's a couple here, so all of them are within shooting range of ships, so definitely something to be very careful of. Now Shemda is in the Castle Age, so we're going to have to see whether he drops a religious building to get that out of the prayer tent. There we go, he has got it, and he's got his shamans coming out. I couldn't remember what they called them, but the priests, the monks, scholars, whatever you want to call them. So if he gets all these relics now, his eco is going to be really strong. So GG definitely wants to be denying these with all these infantry. Even just one samurai on a relic would at least alert you that they're coming. But the Castle Age Up is just about to come through for him. He's just got the gold, so we're going to see that coming up, and I imagine we're going to be seeing the floating gate potentially here at the front, just to line up where we go. Line up with all of those beautiful farms, and we definitely want to see the daimyo, because that is now reduced in cost. So 225, he's already got nearly 300, so definitely wants to get that to buff up all of these farms and to get some bannermen. There we go. So infantry coming in now, and he's going to have to be really careful. He doesn't want to be going up against these Castle Age units with his Feudal Age, because those Keshiks, look how quickly they took out those Yumiyashigado. They're doing a huge amount of damage and no spears to tank them, so these heavy Keshiks are really packing a punch. The archers doing the right thing, and they're focusing down the Mangadai, so they are going to be taking them out, but Keshiks are really cleaning up. They are taking a lot of damage, and this is really quite a good fight for Shemda, but he has lost a huge amount of these Keshiks, so he's going to have to be very careful. And he's going to lose the Shaman as well. Relic on the floor, that's a nice little pickup there, but it looks like these Japanese units are going to go down now that the Mangadai are on the hunt. Let's have a look at the base so we can see the floating gate coming up. No rally as of yet if we check it out, so we're going to have to see where he's going to drop his Yorishiro, but these raiding units are now in the base just as he ages up, and if he loses this Shinto priest, he's going to lose it. Where is it going to go? Into the stables for the classic mounted samurai. Love it. That's exactly, I think, what he wants to be doing, getting some mobility against the mobile Mongol army. One spear's not quite going to cut it, and you definitely want to be, there we go, sprinkled emplacements at the front, really quickly put in, so that's going to help fight off these Mangadai as well. So Gigi's going to really be trying with his Shinto priest soon, I can imagine, to get some of these relics, but we can already see one in the bag for Shemda, and the others are actually very close, so there's another one just about to be picked up here by the shaman and taken back to the base, and these ones are also fairly close, so it looks like the Mongols may get the lion's share of the relics in this particular match. But looking at the eco, the Japanese have really hit the Mongol villagers quite badly. 5 villagers down at this stage is quite a lot. It's 10% of GG's total villagers at the moment, so that's definitely going to be helping his eco. Definitely don't want to get these villagers caught out by the Mangadai. The Keshiks coming in, but targeting the mounted samurai, that was very lucky. These villagers could have easily been wiped out by the Mangadai, and he's going to have to be really careful that these guys don't circle back round. I think a couple of little walls here would be really good once these Mongols are cleared. A little one here and a little one here, secure that gold and keep them from raiding. I think that's going to be really important, because now we can see that Shemda knows where they are, he's fighting his infantry, and he's coming in from the back to try and take out these units. The Mangadai shooting as they go around the corner. So both players trying to keep the aggression on and keep the others out of their base. 4 relics in hand for Shemda now, 2 on the way home and 2 already in place. So if we flick over to the resources per minute, we can see actually that gold eco is really starting to take off now for Shemda. If we take a little look, the Shinto priest tried to get the sacred site, but the Mongols hiding in that cheeky little stealth forest, completely out of GG's vision, apart from one cheeky Keshik there. And if we take a little look then, so that there's one Yorishiro in here and another Yorishiro in a forge, which is going to be that passive gold income, which I think is a good choice. If you didn't know, you can actually get a Yorishiro back later on if you delete the building that it's in. Obviously, you can't delete your landmark TC, but if GG decided to delete this forge, then a new Shinto priest would be queued up in here, and a Yorishiro would come out, and then he'd be able to put it into a house or to wherever he wanted to. So that's definitely something that Japanese players should take advantage as the game goes longer, if they want more passive income rather than just the production from their stables. So, because once you're at pop cap, you're not going to be getting the benefit of it in a stables. You could just delete it, drop a stables down and put it in a house or somewhere else for some more passive income. So always a good idea. Let's double check. We are at Daimyo level 1, and so we just need 600 stone to get to level 2, which we are working on very slowly there, which is the passive here. But we can take a look. Koraltai has gone down, and it looks like GG's trying to take a fight, taking the shaman on the sacred site, and now there we go. Deerstone's coming in as well, so now they're all getting that increased speed. So GG making the right call there and pulling back. If we take a look at the military numbers, it's 35 against 24, but those Keshiks and those mobile units are really packing a punch, so we're just going to have to be really careful. No siege at this stage for either player, but I imagine we will see some soon, as there is a huge amount of infantry on the Japanese side. And there we go, he's tried to take another sacred site there, and the Keshiks are going to catch him. So these guys definitely want to be keeping safe at home so that they can heal up some of these units and keep the Japanese forces packing a punch. Mangadai trying to take it out. There we go, Mounted Samurai coming in. That deflect armor really working in their favor as they get a nice hit off on the Mangadai and those Keshiks. Pulling one Keshik back to try and stop the horde, and these guys are still shooting as they retreat, and this is one of the benefits of Mangadai because they're still going to be doing damage. Tower now shooting everyone as it goes, but Japanese are going to be able to burn that down very, very quickly. Keshiks running away swiftly as the tower goes down. Obviously, the Mongols putting those towers down because it also extends that YAM network to make the cavalry get that extra movement speed as well. So we can see now that the military numbers for GG looking pretty strong, and we can see lots of units in queue for both of these players. We got Whistling Arrow coming in now for GG, which gives the Onimusha the ability to increase their movement speed for 10 seconds, which actually will be really helpful in this matchup. As the Mangadai run away, they'll be able to run in. So two ranged cavalry units which are weak to range, so they're like the perfect counter to each other. All this is a big dive from DG. There's a Mangonel in the back, but is it going to do the damage? Is it going to catch those archers on the backline and the Onimusha? We'll have to see, but he's really focusing on that Mangonel. Cavalry coming around, taking it out. Mangonel's down, but the Keshiks are coming on the back and going for the archers, but the Onimusha mixed in there, really going to be taking those out. Kurultai going to be healing up the Mongol units, and now GG's trying to retreat, but the pathing, oh no, lots of the units are getting caught. That was a big fight, and it looks like GG came out on the bottom of that one. Mongols coming out on top. If we take a look at the numbers now, fairly equal, but this is where you can't split your army, because if we take a look over here, I imagine this is where we're going to find the rest of GG's forces not quite in combat, so they definitely need to be regrouping, ready to fight these units. And Shemda doing the right thing there, pulling back and not going too heavy. So there we go, we've got another Mangonel being built in the field, and there's no anti-siege from GG at this stage. He definitely needs to be getting some Springolds if he's seeing Shemda going for these Mangonels. But Mounted Samurai coming in, let's switch it round. Very difficult to see with all these trees, but the Mounted Samurai pushing in against the spears. Got to be really careful not to take too much damage there, and I think we're going to need to see some more archers on the Japanese side to really take those out, or some siege of his own. Let's take a little look. Is that... No, I thought that might be a little dog, but it's not. It's someone long distance gathering from a random straggler tree, because, you know, that's what we do. There we go. Siege Workshop coming down for GG. Nice choice from him as he's seen the Mangonels being built. So now he's going to be able to get his own anti-siege, as both players are now massing up their units. Mongols in the base around the Kurultai, and the Raiders going out to try and find some damage. Now GG's out on this heavy gold here. He's going to have to be really careful now to make sure that he doesn't run out of this safe gold, because as soon as that gold vein's done, which is only another 1500, then he's going to have to go out here, or he's going to have to go right to the center, and that's when he's going to be in real trouble, because the Japanese without gold definitely means they're going to be in trouble, because all of their best units are gold heavy. If we take a look at the eco per minute though, the food for GG is looking super strong, and actually the gold is really competing very well with Shemda, even though Shemda has 4 relics. So where's the 5th relic then? So there's 4. Interesting. So there's 2 there, and there's a 5th somewhere. So I have no idea. Where are we? Nope. So there's a 5th one somewhere that has been picked up, unless there's only 4 on this map, and that's probably the case. So Mangonel getting a shot off, but there we go, announcing his position, and GG needs to get some vision so he can snipe out that with his Springle. You definitely want to be getting more. Usually at the moment, until they do the big siege change, you want to be getting 2 Springolds for every Mangonel, and so if you see one, you probably want to get 2 or 3, and maybe even a Mangonel of your own. Springold's being built in the field. He's going to try and take out that anti-siege before it gets his Mangonel, but also with this cavalry they will be able to dive and get it if Shemda doesn't defend it well enough. So the Japanese taking out the buildings there, trying to do a little bit of damage to the eco. Really heavy on the gold. Whether we're looking at an Imperial Age? No, we've, as I speak, we've massed up a ton of units, and we've got 2 Bannermen in queue, so we're definitely at the next Daimyo level, which is really good. Springle being taken out, but just as it gets one shot off, and the Mangonel, huge shot on those ranged units for the Japanese. So now it looks like GG is pulling away to safety as the Mongols are coming in, and oh no, there's a chop through. Oh, that is the worst. So now the Japanese eco is idle, as those Keshiks are coming in and taking out anything that stands in their way. Mounted Samurai coming in to try and stop them, taking a huge amount of damage, but the 66 idle at this stage, that's massive. 70. So the whole eco for GG is now idle. He's going to have to be really careful, make sure he gets that back out, as the Mongols pushing in from the front with the Mangonel as well, and the Springle Tower is scaring him off for now. So we can see also that he is now at the Shogunate Castle level 3, so his food eco is going to be buffed up even more, but we need to be getting these villagers back to work. 72 idle, because it looks like the gold has also gone down as well. So these last few Keshiks that we're raiding have been taken out, but definitely GG needs to get these villagers moving, otherwise his eco is at a complete standstill. And even the stone ones, so now fully idle. There we go, back to work. So this is where it can be really difficult when you're playing on controller to try and micro and macro all of these things. So he did a great job of keeping his military alive, still got that 78 advantage, but that's a huge eco hit from having that idle. We can see he's trying to do some raiding on the back with these mounted samurai, and this number of mounted samurai is something you need to be really careful of. If we take a look at the Mongol forces, there's crossbows, men-at-arms, spears, archers, a little bit of everything, and these are going to focus on the heavy stuff. But now we do have the Onimusha and the other units coming in, Whistling Arrow being picked off, and so now they are running in to the charge. Bannerman leading the charge against the Mongols, and oh, it looks like Shemda's not A-moved, so they're running right to the end, and now they've flipped around, but they've already taken a huge amount of damage, and the Onimusha focusing on all of those heavy units. Let's bring it in so we can see exactly what's going on, but the Mongol forces are just absolutely being shredded. One Bannerman down, but they're still all getting that buff, and the second one's still alive as they clean up those Mongol forces. That was a huge pickup for GG now at this stage. We can see the military is at 9, and he's really got to start pushing this advantage now before the Mongols eco then gets him back in the game. We can see that GG is out on this gold, but no defensive towers, nothing like that. So these villagers are going to be in real danger. They're going to slowly go down if he doesn't notice, but our towers are too late now, mate. These guys are going to be going down, and Shemda's pulling away. Why? Oh no, he could have taken out all of these villagers. Only 5 go in the tower. Quick, get them. Oh, this is such a lucky save for GG there. If Shemda had pushed in on those villagers, he would have been able to do a huge amount of eco damage. But the Mongols are being attacked at home as well. Another Mangonel in there trying to get the infantry, and the Onimusha. Oh, that was a big hit there in the middle. Nothing focusing on the Mangonel, so it's going to get another shot off. Here we go. Oh, and look at those Onimusha fall. They took a huge amount of damage there. This is a very, very bold push here for GG into the base. Is it going to pay off? Onimusha now targeting the Keshiks, getting that heavy bonus damage, but they are getting surrounded and they don't have any armor, so they are swiftly taken out. Mounted samurais under the TC fire, under the tower. We can see more on the top side behind the Kurultai, and the healing is keeping them alive, but Japanese reinforcements flooding in through the center as the Khan uses his arrow to move them even faster, and the Whistling Arrow for the Japanese also used. So now they are pulling across to the side, trying to find any eco damage. Wallalol as a defense, as a distraction. Are they going to get it? Oh, just about. And very lucky there wasn't the glitch where the conversion happens and they kill them at the same moment and everything turns neutral, because nobody wants to see that. Villagers being chased around the base, so now it looks like the Mongol eco is the one that is idle. One relic actually on the floor, that's really good. That's a nice little bit of damage for GG there. Any relics that aren't in their tents are always going to be good for you. The other Bannerman has gone down, so he has lost his aura, so I imagine we're going to be seeing another one in queue very, very swiftly. Yeah, 2 Uma Bannermen to be buffing up these Onimusha and the mounted samurai. So now the Mongols are still starting to mass up more units, going for more mangonels. But look at that eco damage now, 57 versus 84. So this is where I think Shemda has been idling his TC a little bit. He's almost 30 behind at this stage and he's only lost 16. So now this is where GG's eco is just massively more. So he is in real danger. If we take a look over at this side, he's trying to gather over there and defend. He's also in the base trying to mass up his units as best as he can, while GG is flooding them out onto the field. We can see even more coming across. Mangonel over, and now they are moving around to the docks. Double docks on the back. I think this is the last little Hail Mary to see what damage he can do. But it looks like that dock is going to be going down. Demolition ships. Oh no, we're not going to see it. Come on. Is GG going to notice? Are the demo ships going to do it? Are they going to come in and try and get these units? Please say they do. Come on, this is what we're all waiting for. No, not to the gold. Get these guys. So let's watch these demo ships. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hello? Are they going for the gold? Are they trying to get the villagers? Oh, no way. No way. He's doing it. Come on. Oh my god, is he gonna do it? Oh my god, look at that. And there's still another one, quick! Oh my god, there's only one of them's gone down. Come on, one more. Come on. Demo. Come on. Oh my god, there's one there as GG is massively fighting in the base. I was really hoping that other demo ship would go off, but maybe he's waiting for that final hurrah before he does it. Then all of these guys being taken out at the back. Deerstone's being moved in to give the cavalry a buff, but it looks like the numbers for GG are just going to keep the Mongols at bay at this stage. There we go. Deerstone's coming in and GG regrouping on the north side of the Mongol base to try and take out those units. Oh no, Mangonel undefended. Oh no, Mangonel undefended, taken out. That's a big eco loss. You definitely don't want to be losing that siege. And if we can take a quick look out, is the demo going to do it? Oh my god, they're still idle. Please. Oh, please. GG, I don't want to see it, but I do. Oh, and they've got to safety. You are so lucky, mate. He's just realised at that stage those could have been 16 villagers down. That would have been absolutely insane, but just the one going off was incredible. So then we could see now that GG is at the top side, mass loads of units here, and he is definitely going to be taking out that Uvu as well. The Mongols doing their best to defend, and I really respect this final defense here from the Mongols. Even though he's outnumbered, outgunned, he's still standing strong until the bitter end. So there we go. Another Mangonel at the back, focusing on the cavalry. Definitely want to be hitting those guys on the back line, but he can't do it, and he's undefended. Cavalry coming in. There we go. Mangonel being focused down by one lone samurai that is... Oh, there we go. The cavalry have changed targets. So Mangonel down, and it looks like the Japanese are going to be running in and getting all the villagers in that base. So I think this is where Shemda is going to be scrambling to figure out how he can defend against this. But with all those units in his base, I think the writing is very much on the wall as cheeky rounds are streaming in from the siege workshop to put a stop to all of these buildings. So more units being taken out for Shemda, trying his best to defend, but those couple are streaming over and getting taken out, as is. There's demo ships, fishing ships, there's junks, and there's other demo ships around the sides, but they're not going to find any damage unless they can take out any of those buildings at the back. But the Rams focusing down all these buildings, slowly taking them out, and actually there's some towers. The demos, are they going to do it? Oh, they just got a farm and one tower. Oh, that's a big waste of those guys when they could have got the villagers. That's such a shame. But I appreciate the demo ship fight. And there we go. Shemda calls it after a huge defense, a massive push from GG, and a crazy demo. So what an action-packed game. And before we go to the post-match review, make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I'll have another game recommendation for you so you can keep enjoying all of this action. And here we are then, just before GG was called by GG to take a little look at this game and what both players could have done slightly differently and how it all played out. So let's zoom out, bring up the interface and give it a cheeky pause. So let's take a little look at GG's base and some of the things I think he could have done. So obviously the farm's being built up and this chop through, this definitely did him a huge disservice because those Keshiks were able to just run in and idle his whole economy. And I think this is something both players definitely could have done a little bit better, is using the defensive advantages that they have. So obviously Japanese have walls, Mongols don't. So GG actually putting down some walls, for example, like a little wall here, maybe a little wall on this side, just to secure this side here, maybe even considering doing a really bold wall around this side. Probably not to the gold, but just even when they were on this back gold here, just a little line here and a little across the front to the stone, that would have done a huge amount to make sure those raids wouldn't keep happening. Also, as you're going on these resources, as the demo ship is there, it's looming over those villagers, putting down some towers is definitely a good call. I would say doing it immediately is a really good idea. And if you didn't know, if you pick an emplacement, as soon as that emplacement starts firing on something, then you also get the attack notification. So I like to do this where I will get one, and even if I can only afford to put one with an emplacement, I'll do it, and then it's just a little raiding alert that as soon as an enemy comes within that range and it shoots, it will ping off. So this usually helps me to defend those units and get there a little bit more quickly, because I'm not very good at keeping an eye on what's going on the mini-map. So just a little idea there. Whereas I think on Shemda's side, his defensive advantage are these outposts, because they also buff up his cavalry. So if we take a little look, he's not got any really on the map. He had a couple around over on this side, a couple down here, but he definitely wanted to be dotting them all over on his side. So when GG comes to his side of the map, it's then a Mongol terrain, and he's getting that defensive advantage with the extra movement speed, the damage from the sprinkled emplacements, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think also he got to castle much more quickly. He got all 4 relics, and I double checked on the replay, there are only 4, which is always interesting to know. But he didn't push that pressure. He was in Castle Age for a while before GG got up. If he'd got some lancers and got them over there, then there would have been nothing he could have done. Also, GG was heavily into samurai and Yumiyashi Gado at that point, so like crossbows and men-at-arms, just walking into that base, they would have been able to have a field day and didn't require any upgrades, because obviously if you use a castle age unit, there are no upgrades until much later. So always a good idea to remember that. I think GG did a good job of getting loads of production. So if we take a look at his side, he's got a load there, so it's like 10 different things. He also went into siege. He got some springolds, which didn't survive very long because also Shemda did, but he also went for some mangonels, which I think was really good. So both players here remembering to get their siege. And now we can see as well that the eco numbers for both of these players are looking very, very different. So there's basically the same number of villager kills on each side, which just means that GG was able to print out way more of those villagers. On controller, obviously you get auto villagers, so that is something to remember, but it does also mean that he has more trouble dealing with all the micro using all of the controller interface. So it swings and roundabouts in that case. But I think he did a great job of really taking some good fights and pushing the Mongols back. And even though he was idle for a long time, if we look, his eco just completely overtook it, and he always had that military lead. So I think taking that military and really starting to use it and pressure Shemda would have been able to end this game a little bit earlier. But Shemda did a great job defending until the bitter end, and I hope you've all enjoyed this action. Now, check out the cards above in one of the top corners, wherever it pops up for you, and you'll be able to find another game that you can check out that you're going to absolutely love. And until next time, enjoy hitting the ranked ladder yourself, becoming a conqueror, Chad, and I will see you next time.